it coming into this week. And, you know, I talked to Scump on Hot Mic. He's like, we're feeling good on hard point. We have a lot to improve in other areas. And then that happens last night. So definitely a lot to do. But look at these smokes coming out early from Red trying to cut off that mid lane.
Yeah, that was try to obviously shut down the likes of Formal in that top window. Doesn't work out there. Crim pushing middle map. Already a 3-0 start for him and Maven. He's someone that I think has absolutely exploded so far in the Call of Duty World War II season. For many people, he's right there as the best player in Call of Duty World War II.
And this map in particular, every time we've seen Optic win, Crim has gone off. I mean, he's dropping 30 to 40 kills when they're getting victories here. They need him in a big way. And then on the other side of it, someone that had a pretty poor series last night, Formal didn't have a very good series against Mindfreak. I spoke to him afterwards. He was really frustrated. Kind of expect him to bounce back here, but let's take a look as we rotate now to the next hard point. Scump gonna be holding, but Rated just lines him up there inside of white.
And somehow Josh already has full streaks. That happened real quick. A 5 streak after coming off spawn. You saw him win a couple gunfights in that bottom red hill against the likes of Formal. It's Red who pushed on in, but just like that, Maven, it's Rated all by himself trying to hold this hard point. Beautiful two-piece though there on the Scump. Scump playing very aggressive so far on this map in some of the challenges he's had.
This has been Rated literally giving his team a chance to get back into this particular hardpoint. He was by himself. He ends up finding 3 kills. His teammates come back into it. Zero, who started 0-4, he needs to start to heat up a little bit. He found the first kill there. Team kill from Rated, but that was great. I mean, that could have been a big chunk of time for Optic Gaming. Red Reserve ended up taking the edge, and this rotation's big. It's going to be a 3-on-1. It's going to be just Crimsix in a position to maybe play Disruptor here. Does he get caught? No, he finds Joe. And now his teammates collapsing, and look at the top of the minimap. Spawning out at Old is going to be Joe and the rest of the team. This is looking good for Optic.
I've got to give props to Crimsix right here. What a beautiful play. He was in mid-map, challenged a gunfight and won, recognized multiple other players were pushing from this barn side. He did not think about holding the angle. He just literally went head down, sprinted to the back of the map, played his life, and gave his team a chance to rotate towards this hard point. Unfortunately for Optic Gaming fans, there was a fighter pilot from Red Reserve, but Maven Optic still have these back spawns.
Well, fighter pilot doesn't usually get you a lot on this particular hard point. It's going to end up working out, but a lot of times you want to save that for a lookout post. But if they can make the play behind it, you know they already used the glide bomb in the second hard point. Maybe they can turn this into some time. You see that number 8 on the minimap. That's Formal kind of waiting for his teammates to get up and work with him here. Now as he opts to collapse, his teammates, though, dropping in front. It's still Rated holding inside, but Scump does win a nice one. Unfortunately, Karma ends up being the last man remaining here. This has been a very good opening from Red Reserve.
I can tell you right now, Red Reserve are screaming their call-outs. They're definitely a very loud team when it comes in to getting their communication across. 85-33 to score for Red. Solid start for them, and Optic Gaming's hardpoint woes are seeming to continue right now into the final day of the CWL Pro League Division A. As now it's a 1-minute lead for Red Reserve, and Maven, they're already here at Lookout Post.
And I hear Josh getting so loud. Remember, I mentioned the slow start from Zero. He was 0-4. He's now 7-6 with 6 kills in a row. So you may have some more streaks. And what was interesting that we saw from Red Reserve and hadn't seen from other teams, you and I were casting that first era, they didn't hesitate to go mountain to deal with a lot of streaks. We haven't seen anybody else do that. And now you had streaks already expended from Josh. Zero has picked up streaks as well. Optic Gaming is going to have to deal with these or it's going to get ugly.
I can promise you, Optic are not a team that do that switch very often.
Ever. Really not on hard point.
Yeah, Joe gets 2, Zero. Again, that 0-4 start now turned around to 9-7. He's got full streaks to his name as well, and we know how powerful that flamethrower will be. In bottom
nice
red, beautiful
nade.
shots and a nade to Formal. He puts a couple bullets into Scump before he does die.
110-44 as we enter our second set of rotations. 3 kills in the kill feed for Optic Gaming. Scump and Karma starting to heat up a bit. Karma finds a nice kill. They have spawns. They have restaurant.
One thing I do want to point out, the slang is actually dead even, Maven, like 0 right now between these teams, but you've had 2 sets of full streaks earned by the side of Red Reserve, just showing how they've had a couple players streak, but then they have those slow starts like we talked about with Zero.
Nice flank here from Joe as he collapses and wins a nice one-on-one in courtyard up against Formal. There's still one player fighting here. One actually spawns out. That's Formal who spawns all the way out. You're at risk here of losing spawns. It's going to be Karma who has to make a play. Pushing through a field to be 2 players. As soon as he crosses, he gets cut down. And suddenly, what looked very nice for Optic rotating into Winery looks really nice for Red Reserve.
And don't speak too soon.
Well, that's true. As you get the 1 kill, it goes from what, being a 3-on-2 to a 3-on-1 now for Optic.
And it's Zero all by himself. He's going to take 1 with him. Will the players get there in time? They will. So Optic have brought this deficit down to 30 because Maven, during all that, they got all the scrap time as well. So the 1 minute lead now down to just 30. And they're set up for this new hill. Optic must hold this to come back in this game.
They've got the spawns. You're just going to try and bully your way through the front if you're Red Reserve right now. One will end up dropping. You still have reinforcements flying in from field. But if you're Optic, you just have to get this time. Scump has got streaks to work with as well. So you've got streaks on Zero, streaks on Scump on the opposite side. But Josh and Joe combined to wipe out the entire team. And Optic gets clean swept. They get one more nice spawn here at least.
One big thing from Optic there, if you look at the start of that hill, I think they were so focused on expecting Red to push for the spawns. But Red instead just stacked the front, and they've done it the entire time. Red just keep flooding through the front. They recognize the one player was there from Optic, and they overwhelm them.
The break was big from Josh and Joe. The hold was big in Josh and Joe. They were basically the only two names that popped up on the kill feed from Red Reserve. 3 streak from Joe, 4 in a row from Josh. Spectacular stuff. But now we're getting out of Winery. Can they hunt down Zero here? He'll be the one that's set up inside. You see Crim6 wrapping around the back. Zero spots him, able to tag him. He needs some help, though. That grenade is going to be on top of him. Glide bomb called in as well, and they will find the kill. Streaks paying dividends for either side in this.
Optic, again, they have the setup, but so far this game, they haven't done the best at holding it, where typically that's their strong suit. A fighter pilot coming on in, Crim dipping into the corner, should live through the streak, but it's Josh that's there to follow it up, gets the call out, and gets the cleanup. Again, Red Reserve still up by 45 seconds, still with pressure on this hard point, as 3 Optic gaming members die.
Remember what they said, though. They're great for 90% of the hard points sometimes. Right. I know they fixed some of those issues this week, absolutely, especially in the series versus era. But can you do it? To the full 250 is going to be the question. These next couple of minutes going to be huge to see if Red can close this game out. Formal starting to heat up a little bit as he's found 3 kills in a row. You still have a fighter pilot and flamethrower there on one end. Formal will get dropped as he gets pushed into the backside of Stables. Karma, though, able to follow it up on one before dropping. Let's see how this plays out, because Red does have an opportunity to pinch right now. Uh-oh.
Formal just stuck Scump, I believe, as he pushed forward. Now it's raided with first blood. Karma trying to come off spawn. Glide bomb comes in. Did he just live through that streak?
Might have just got to the edge of the box.
Yeah.
It's not close enough to clean it up, but now you see the power of this here. But look at that. You've got Mountain on multiple players. They know the streaks are coming in. They Mountain on pretty much everybody, so you don't get wiped out and you get right back to the hard point.
The thought process for Red. What hill is most popular to call on the fighter pilot streak? This one at the lookout post. Scump has called it his glide bomb, but he hasn't used the fighter pilot yet. Hey, we should save and twit on Mountain for that hill. Hey, it works out perfectly. They continue to do it. At this point, teams have to begin to think to the next level. If they're all gonna run Mountain on that hill, I might as well drop it the hill before, or at the next Winery hardpoint where I actually have a chance when they're not all running Mountain.
Well, the good thing for Optic, you don't get any kills with that streak, but you do get all the time there at lookout post. And now Restaurant is going to be massive. Optic Gaming still has to mount the comeback, trailing by 50 points right now. They're set up nicely here. Formal knows he has one on the backside. Karma's going to be able to call out that everyone else is spawning on the other side, and Crim6 can pick that up from mid-map. They're going to get a lot of this time, but they need to be ready to push through, and Crim's doing just that, but Rated gets the better of him.
How many kills have we seen by Rated on the player trying to rotate towards that, outside Winery area? Karma pitching from top, 1, can't snap on the second and 0 with the quick reaction time. It's about to be 197 to 160. Crim in the hard point for the moment. Optic still within reach, but Maven, they have not had that swing quite yet on this map.
They haven't, but they do have some streaks maybe to break into this second hard point. You look at the mini-map, it's set up very nicely for Red.
Here's their chance.
Popping in.
Will this player spawn out? He does. I was wondering if the spawn out was going to happen. Zero is spawned out. The player who just spawned Field, who is Formal, will get there quicker. Optic recognize this. They are flooding the ammo street. They've got the close spawn. This is their best chance yet, Maven. There's the entry. The glide bomb is there to spot the players too. Optic might just do this.
They know, they should know everybody's field, but one's still missing. That one missing is Joe, who's been roaming around kind of inside of Grandma's. He actually hits the back. They never spot him. So he is able to disrupt for a moment. It's getting contested right now as they're bullying their way up the mid lane, also in through white. Kills all going the way of Red Reserve. That's 3 in the kill feed. Everybody cut down there, and Optic have to try and reinforce one more time.
When do we ever see this? Red have just completely changed how you play this hill, it seems. Forget the spawns. We'll kill you over and over as you try to flood the hard point. Rated now earning streaks as well, and that might be the tools they need to break in to this outside parking lot hard point.
He does get caught at least, so you'll get 10 or so seconds of scrap time here for Optic Gaming, and your 3 other members are set up, but it's all going to be these streaks.
They know they've got the time, the number advantage right now. Scum's got to rotate over. There's the first blood. Karma's job now to watch this push. Here comes the fighter pilot. Oh God, Optic's gonna get wiped off the map right here.
Assist on one, fire going down on the spawners as well. They get the call, and everybody's spawning in the back. It's gonna be a streak from Crimsix. He's about to drop, but Scump actually looks over him. Glide bomb then called in. Streaks just going back and forth. Optic still gonna be in the hard point, about to crack the 200-point mark, trailing now by 20.
Josh, wow, 29 and 24, almost 2 minutes in the hard point.
How good has he been this week? He's been unreal, man.
He's been frying this week. Formal gets tagged by the flamethrower. It's a trade, and that favors Red Reserve. Red can no longer win off this hard point. I think Optic, though, we're going to push for the scrap time.
15 seconds left remaining on it. You don't want to feed any more streaks in. The scary part is Josh is very, very close to him. But they are able to get the kill. They get 4 down. They're going to grab the final 8 or so seconds.
Can we swap through Optic players? Do we have any streaks left for this next hill? Flamethrower, not useful, not useful, not useful. No streaks. It just comes down to raw gun skill. First blood for Formal, second kill for Scump. Josh on the pinch, but Optic should know where they are. They should get this final kill. First wave won by Optic. They can win now off this hard point. How much does this look like the time we saw Optic versus Red back in New Orleans when Optic got eliminated by 1 second?
It absolutely does, but it is going to be Red inside the hard point. Karma trying to contest, able to at least pick up one. Trade it out immediately, and Red will hop right back into this hard point. Only 5 points needed. Optic keep trying to reinforce. They're not going to be able to get in. Map.
Themselves here. Red up 1-0. Again, search and destroy now started. I received word that as they were getting ready to load on the map, I think mid-fist bumps or something, Joe like leaned over and knocked over his entire water all over his setup.
Okay.
Thankfully, we got that cleaned up quick as we get into map number 2.
I'll take a look at the class at the bottom left. Karma going to be running armored, inconspicuous. He'll be your lead guy there, looking to eat a stun, maybe make a play. Also helps as he'll be the bomb carrier as well. He's actually going to be sitting inside a beer. Scump goes firing up. And because of that stun, he's able to get the kill, but he is traded out quickly. Rated. What we saw Karma inside a beer. I don't know if he peeked and just got 3-balled and probably from Rated just across and fire.
So the goal there from Optic, kill the player mid-statue, especially after they hit the stun. You're sending Karma into beer with an SMG. Even if he wants to give Scump cover fire, that's rated with an FG42. I mean, that might as well be a near impossible gunfight.
Oh yeah, certainly, especially against a player Rated's caliber. Oh,
yeah.
Hell, any of the players here on the top 16 teams in the world, that's a difficult gunfight. But now it's shifted into a 2v3. 40 seconds on the clock. Crim will have bomb in hand.
Can we quickly look through the Red players? What utility do they still have? Rated still has his nade. Zero still has his. So I think Red are giving up this site, knowing they have 2 nades, and they'll look to retake, starting with those lethals once this bomb gets planted. You should probably see Zero and Rated lead with these grenades, hit those common spots players go to.
Here we go.
As they'll begin to inch forward.
See Formal and Underground. Starting to come forward.
That makes it impossible.
He just gets gunned immediately. And now, like you said, for Formal, this will be all but impossible. Only thing really on his side is going to be the clock.
See, look, they immediately nade it. They're just trying to zone him. He'll peek. Now they know exactly where he is. He needs more than a hero play for this to happen. Not going to work. Beautiful job, Red Reserve up 1-0, and they'll give Josh the defuse. Josh, a monster map 1, starts off game 2 just the same.
Yeah, we talked about how quickly he got streaked.
Josh and Rated.
Hard point. Yeah, they were both amazing. And yeah, I mean, the early streaks, a big part of why they got out to that massive lead in game 1. Looking like you might be staring the same thing in the face if they have a nice round 2 here.
Shot of Formal from Optic Gaming, who has had a more lackluster week compared to what we're used to seeing from him.
He's had, for me, he's either had a great series or just really average series.
And is that, do you attest that to the change in roles? And
could be part of it. I talked to him yesterday, and he said it was partially just you know, playing 1 match a day sometimes, like hard for him to get up for it. Like instead of playing, you know, playing 6 matches in a row or something like that at a major event, and that's something you got to get used to. It's a different environment.
Formal with that FG42. Will he? Oh my goodness. Joe crouched down. I think he saw him.
I believe by his aim here, he definitely did. Sees him push out. He wants to try and get an angle on this. Saw him cross as well.
Joe
will
could have got luckier with every single move that was made right there.
Does get away with his life. Scump does back one down at window as well. Karma, well, not shocked to see him change to an FG42 after he died in the first round.
Right.
Frem will get picked though. That's Rated, who was able to move his way up the B site. Now as he pushes through B, this becomes real scary for Optic.
They know the Optic setup. Crim typically is a solo B player. Might as well take control of the entire B site. And you might be thinking, you know, 18 seconds left. This could be awkward. Do they spot the cross? I don't think so. I think the player on water stairs, Formal, just turned away at the worst time and didn't see the cross. Carmen Scump line up. Wow.
And that is the power of the FG and the power of the accuracy of Rated. Wow. Rated, I mean, he does it all that round. He gets the opening kill on B to open things up. He then watches the push through the back spawn. And he's ready for it, up to the task. And I mean, those I know it's an easy gunfight in the sense that, yes, he's holding there with an FG, but to get both kills, impressive stuff from Rated. And he's 5-0 now. And you can see just how close several players are to streaks. Look at this. You're at 125 off from Rated. I think the same thing for Josh, or very close to that.
And if you're Rated, is there any way you're backing down from fire right now with how you're playing? I don't think so at all. Nice job by Scump to find that opening onto Joe, who was stunned in middle maps. They knew exactly where he would be.
The difference here, remember last time Rated kind of traded out the kill immediately and actually went Red's favor.
Scump hightailed it out of there, and now it's going to be Optic with an execution towards this A site. Zero's trying to spot that cross, tagged by Formal, he'll back down, but then re-challenge immediately after.
And he's so worried about a player pushing through B right now, too. Now it looks like for the time being they're giving it up, they're going to focus. And the big thing here is Josh and Rated. Even if you lose this round, can you get some streaks behind it? Josh inching his way forward. He spotted him. Nice job getting the kill, but you still need at least an assist here. Did he spot him on site? Did he spot him on bomb is the question. Rated is just a god. Just picking them off one by one. They might both get streaks here.
Oh, that would be the worst thing of all time. Josh has tagged him, I believe. Rated with the finish! Oh!
He thought about it. He thought about it.
I was upstairs and talked to him about Pharaoh shooting bodies. I was talking about it. They're like, I just don't get it. Why do you shoot bodies?
He thought about it.
He thought about it for a second. Reformed, Rated, showing a new face there.
I believe that's back-to-back 3-kill rounds for Rated. As he's now up to 8-0.
Why does my impression sound like a Mickey Mouse guy?
Full streaks. You're going to be, I told you, as soon as you're fired from this job for saying something stupid, you're going to be a clown that shows up to children's
At
parties.
this point, I've accepted it, dude. I really have.
Formal right now 0-3, but Scump is the one finding the big kills. Cuts down 2 a day as they'll continue to hold. Rated, though. Rated hasn't died, and Rated has a kill. He's 9-0. He's like, oh, I guess I'll go grab bomb as well. No round's over until Rated drops, in my opinion, right now.
Should happen. Oh my gosh, Formal tries to challenge with a sniper.
He does have one. He should be shot in the back in just a second. He is. Karma hasn't finished him yet, though. Now Formal from the other side. Surely Rated has to die. Surely Rated has to die. You still have Zero in a 1 versus 3.
Dead.
He has bomb. He's being chased, and that is a round to Optic Gaming.
Even that was unnecessarily challenged.
He was just pinned in that corner, top middle. I guess you get a little bit of respect after you start out 9-0.
Interesting start to that last round from Red. That no one picks up bomb. So, like, they had 2 people die A, and I was like, oh, maybe that was a thing where they were like, oh, we'll just all out rush it and then fake the bomb to B. I think they just forgot it.
Oh, and on the other side, Optic just needs someone to start playing outside of Scump. You only have 2 kills outside of Scump's 5.
And 3 of them are first bloods. He's trying to give him any round advantage again.
It's like, come on, guys.
Please help me out.
Pick it up. Now you have to worry about the streaks.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody gets a ton of information. Will it actually catch him in the cold corner? It does. Formal's woes continue. He is 1-4. And the tear that is Rated continues its dominance on Optic Gaming.
10-1. 3 more kills than all of Optic combined to this point.
They've been so impressive in Search. Every time we watch them play, just the way they're adapting, the stuff they're trying out that's new, I'm not shocked this is how the game's going whatsoever.
Have they seen the players cross through lights? You see Zero holding this angle. He should have one peeking here soon. The barrel of Crim's gun just barely staying behind that corner. So Optic will get the plant. Absolutely a winnable round right now for OG.
Oh, that's right. We have 2 glide bombs.
Yeah, 2 streaks used. This is Optic's chance. This is a swing round right here.
Oh, he just barely finishes it and gets away. Teammate looking over him as well. That's a full clear Optic drop. And that's a 4th round for Red Reserve. But no, I agree. Optic win that. They definitely are. I mean, right back in. They're only down a round, obviously. Yep. But then the big thing is you expend those 2 streaks. So, I mean, that's more on Red just clutching up and closing out the round. Once Krim got that pick, I thought things might fall apart. But, and after how long it took to kill Karma.
Right. You think if Karma is, you know, crouching that corner the whole time, he doesn't get shot at, and maybe they have more of a chance, but a hole in Optic setup because of the number disadvantage cost them the round.
4-1, Red Reserve. On board with Formal as he's needing into fire. He's caught Joe in that position. He spotted him there before. Does he check it? He is going to be able to win it. Scump and Formal opening things up. It's another first blood for Scump. 4 of his 6 kills.
Krim's taking matters into his own hands at this point. He's already flooded through the entire map. 26 seconds into the round, he's in their spawn. This is the final kill. Optic with a very clean round to turn things around.
There we go. Nice round to try and get back into things, but you still have a lot of streaks on the side of Red Reserve. Scump with the first blood. Scump with the final kill. As he finishes 0 in the back there. 0. Looking to recover in the next round.
Zero. Hey, you know what? Yeah. He had a slow start to the hard point, too. It's all part of the game plan.
What was it? 0-4 to 9-6 with full streaks.
Yep.
Smoke is out, but it doesn't completely cover the cross, but doesn't look like Optic's playing behind it. So, I mean, if you're Red, you know they're not as of now.
Because they don't see anything cross, because they can see the cross and spot only nothing, and now finally they'll see 2. They won't prompt movement right away. Now, though, they'll try to make up for it. As Scump with the FG watching over Karma. Karma should go for this plant right away.
Yeah, I would not be taking my first gunfight with Scump. Well, unfortunately, you have Karma to deal with as well. Plant in, then more to the backside, but look, he's already pushed through. Scump's already pushed through the other side. Scump should get a kill. He does. He's able to actually pick up Joe as well. And that streak may have gotten Scump at back window if he didn't reposition to the opposite side. Now things falling apart for Red and Krim. The snapper.
Whew. What was that second kill? Let's see this again. Did he hit a hip fire right here? Yep.
Yes, he certainly did.
Great, it's going. What?
Yeah, that's one of those ones where you hit that hip fire, just it seems like you evaporate if you're on the receiving end of it.
Think of the numbers Scump's put up right now. He is already with 4 first bloods through, what, 7 rounds played? 8 kills to his name. He's doing everything he can to keep Optic in this match.
I think the big thing to look at, look how many first bloods you have for Red right now.
Yeah.
They have a 4-3 lead with 1 first blood.
And that's so unlike Optic Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw a stat from JP the other day talking about how high a percentage of rounds Optic Gaming wins when they have 4v3. But when they get first blood, they usually are winning rounds. Not been the case in this one.
I think basically everyone on Optic is running Mountain here. Another mortar dropped. This time it does nothing again, and Formal gets first blood.
6 first bloods in 8 rounds now for Optic. They're trying to fight back into this one. Bomb has been planted, though. Josh is a fighter pilot. He stuns out, see if any pressure is coming forward. He's not being pushed in lights yet, but the pressure is going to come. Karma and Krim looking to hit him. Tags one. Trying to get a bait, so she's actually tagged through the wall, and that's just enough damage to make it a very easy kill. Probably a 2-bullet for Crim6. 2 players left, 1 player left. It's just on Joe, but there's not a lot of time. There's not a lot of time. Can you get him? Get him on the bomb, doesn't have the angle. Joe just has to run for it. Joe not gonna get there in time, and Scump's got the cover. Another round for Optic.
The momentum beginning to shift. Optic with the retake. Another streak used for naught from Red Reserve. And now Optic have 1 player, I believe it is Karma, who's 1 kill off of earning himself multiple streaks.
He sure is. And it could be the plant that actually does it if they're able to get into that A site.
And if you're Red, I mean,
better smoke that time.
Yeah, look at how early Josh moves. He does not want to give this up. He does not want to give him a plant right here.
Well, last time he could see through it, right? That one looked to be a lot better.
And I think Optic know this.
You've got 2 players on B at defense. 1 is now rotated out behind that. So Joe is wrapping all the way back towards A. And nice pick from Rated. Krim coming out a little bit too far out of Cole there. That's an easy kill.
Rated quieted down a little bit, was 10-1.
I think it's just how late he peaked it, right? Like usually you see like lights get hit pretty quickly. Just so late he comes in. They try to do a little bit of a bait and switch. Not going to work. Almost snaps under another one. I think he got a hip fire hit in that as well.
But you know what? Optic got some streaks.
It's true.
And Red should know this. They saw Karma earn or get 1 kill off of the streaks last round. Now they know for sure he's got all sorts of stuff. There we go.
Oh, okay, this round's not over.
Would this be a 1v4?
Okay, he catches him. Wow. Wow. Karma just beams him off a bomb there. But Joe, he knows he has to go for the plant. Not a lot of time on the clock. I mean, it's just a guessing game for Karma. You either try to plant or you hold it and guess aside and hope you get the kill. Literally flipping a coin. Multiple coins.
Like you could make an argument like, oh, well, why doesn't he hold it there for a second? Well, maybe if he's thinking he's rotating from B or back spawn, you know, he plants that right away and gives himself a chance to get gun up. Now Red up 5-4. It's looking like an A execute with that smoke on the cross.
And you do have that fighter pilot, remember. Grenade connects, but doesn't finish.
But it gives Formal the information he needs. He knows that there's a presence here at A.
He's mountain. So he'll be safe if a streak does get called in. Now it's going to be a glide bomb. Going to catch 0. Nope, he's playing. Oh, I thought he was far enough in the back. Doesn't appear that he is. 3 drop, and Rated uses the fighter pilot, so you get nothing out of this. I mean, you get a kill, but now you're at a 1v3. I mean, Rated.
Think of what just happened.
Wow.
In the moment from him calling in the fighter pilot to when he finally can shoot with it, 3 teammates die.
I didn't think that glide bomb was going to kill 0. I'll be honest. I thought he was pretty deep. Rated has been a magician throughout this game. He needs a little bit more magic, though, but he's spotted.
Round 11.
I love it. I love it.
Round 11. The famous Crim 6 handshake.
What do we still have, streak-wise? I think, is there still...
Flamethrower and fighter pilot for Optic.
Is there one fighter pilot left on Red, or did I just make that up?
I think that was the last one.
Okay, okay.
They might, well, didn't they have 2 glide bombs?
Yeah, I thought maybe Josh or Joe had it. There's been so many. Yeah, he does. Okay, Josh has it. All right, so you do have a little bit of something to work with, but it is mountain all across the board.
What was that spawn from Red? They're all sorts of going all over the place. They pick up the bomb 6 seconds late. Karma's still with mountain on. He's got fighter pilot and flamethrower.
You just need a first blood here if you're Red.
They've got it. They've got to have mountain on.
Yep.
Red are great at this.
They have to. They have to. Only one doesn't. It's Rated, though. He's in a position to be safe. Will live through it. So first one doesn't connect. Remember, Red still has one, and it'll be a quick bomb plant.
One quick note. I don't think Formal, 1, saw him cross bomb, so he'll get the plant down.
Gotta get out. He has to get away with the flash of the streak. He has to get away.
And 2, they know Karma's running flamethrower instead of artillery or mortar. So they don't worry about the bomb getting mortared. And just like that, they get the bomb down to 4v4.
And that buys him 5 or so seconds. Joe holding the back.
If Scump does this.
Well, what was an easy gunfight becomes a little bit more trickier for either side, but the car will explode. Scump is gone. 4v3 for Red. 4v2 for Red. 4v1 for Red. Last one's going to be Karma. Karma, he's had some heroic moments, but he's got to make a play. Flamethrower out. He's
CoD and been CoD for as long as you, but I don't know of a time that this has ever happened.
No, just in like a single day I can't play. No. But the big thing here, too, to mention, I was talking about yesterday, we haven't had like any reverse sweeps at all in the Pro League. This year, it just feels like there's been so few. I can't think of a handful throughout both majors in this. Well, Optic would have to pull it off here. And it would have to happen on London Docks CTF. They do see Krim sneak through, and Krim has had some of the best, most clever CTF plays we've seen over the past 2 weeks, but we're going to need a couple of them here, I think.
He's always seems to be the clutch factor, the final person to just end a push or stop an offensive play. As Josh almost fries 3, but he buys enough time to get the flag out. He's got Raden's help as well, and now he's off to the race as Optic coming off spawn. This is a 1-0 lead for Red Reserve in the opening minute.
That was beautiful. And it starts with the 2 entry kills from Josh, and even though, like you said, he hasn't finished the 3rd, he makes Formal back down, is the big thing. So he can't get a pick on anyone trying to grab the flag, can't make a play behind. That was as good as getting a kill, basically.
If this Red Reserve showed up in week 1, they would be 7-0.
Right? They've been good, man. I know they had some thrilling games, even versus Era. Like the 2 hardpoints were some of the most entertaining things I've casted. They've had some close ones still, but just again, it's the difference between moments they fall apart and moments they go big.
This extended time out here in the LAN League positively benefits the teams from Europe and APAC vastly more than the teams that are obviously always based in NA. It's easy to say. Karma, beautiful job gunning both Joe and Rated again. He's just trying to be like the one that keeps Optic in it right there, as that was almost a swift 2-0 lead for Red Reserve.
Can Karma get these streaks? Still has the flamethrower out here, but flamethrower we know can actually be very useful whether you're in beer or fire to make a play in CTF.
Yeah, I sent a couple messages after this most recent game just to a couple people that I know are well respected in the community and said, I'm not missing something, right? That's a mistake from Karma to have on flamethrower. And they're like, absolutely, he should have mortars or artillery on there. There's no excuse.
Well, on defense there, though, you did see a big...
Game 2, by the way. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You did see a big play there from Formal. I heard somebody yelling from the Optic side, let's go, Matt. They were starting to get hyped up. They need some energy because throughout the course of this, all I've heard is Red Reserve. And I know you don't need to scream, you don't need to get loud to win, but it has been lopsided from an energy standpoint. But now the push is on for Optic Gaming. Flag has been grabbed, but Joe has the streak here to maybe shut things down. Gets two, tags Scump as well. Can he get away? Scump still buried inside. Joe gets a bullet in, but not able to finish it. Zero, though.
Oh.
Zero with the grenade, zero with the return.
I thought that was a stun, but no, he just spawns in and throws the nade, and Scump, as he turns the corner, runs straight into it.
So you saw a nice stop from Karma earlier. Now it's Zero making a play to keep the 1-0 edge. Gunfight for Josh, not going to go his way. And just to take a look at kind of the kills right now, it's been a bit of a slow start from Scump as he's sitting at 1 and 6, but it is going to be Formal of Optic Gaming. He's going to have to.
That car's going to blow up. Yeah,
well,
that's what I was going to say. Oh my goodness! Forget the Optic fan. It's the Joe car right there. As Formal, who had a perfect opportunity to shoot one in the back and pull the flag, gets blown up by the car.
Safety first, Formal. Safety first.
I kid you not.
Ooh.
I kid you not, Clint. The reason I did not mention the car right there was because I thought for some reason, and again, it was not at all, I thought that it was like a CODcaster error or bug, because I was like, Formal's one of the best players in the world. He would recognize this car will explode. But he walks up right behind it. He's like, oh, what year is this? Done.
Well, now it's Krim getting 2 picks here at mid-map, which will allow Optic Gaming to push their way up the map. Scump's going to have a fight to check behind the box. He does not. That'll be an easy kill for Joe. Red Reserve still trying to hold strong. Formal wraps from underground, does get a kill. Very weak is Josh, so he can finish it. Guns Joe! All 3 for Formal, but Zero is off spawn. Is Zero going to overextend? That looks to be the play, so he might be able to get a flag out. Wrapping back to base will be Karma. This is going to be a big one-on-one. The stun hits before he gets there. Can he get into a spot? Can he get this flag out? Everybody now pushing in. The timing doesn't seem like it's working out for Zero, and there's the tie game.
They're pulling it again right after. Krim still got kills across the map. He's now running it out. A 6 streak for Krim 6. Again, it just seems like it's always Krim. And you know what, Red? You play great CTF for 4 minutes, but you give Optic 1 chance, and that happens right there. The rally and full streaks. And Formal gets 5 straight on his own as well. 6 score streaks now available for Optic Gaming.
We talked about Formal being quiet in his
last series. God.
He's not right now. He is absolutely snapping onto the Red Reserve players. Not going to be a final touch. Here we go to halftime, but you nailed it. And it's almost joking back to what Rated said about Hardpoint. Like, they play good for 90% of the time, and then something falls apart in that 10%. There's an example of it in CTF. You're brilliant throughout, but just like that, Optic flick a switch, and they put 2 caps on the board. Wow.
That's one of those, like, wow, that escalated quickly.
Yeah.
That's literally what it was like from no streaks to 2 sets of full streaks and 2 caps in a minute's time.
That reminded me of there was a Mind Freak series on this map where they scored two flags like the opening 45 seconds.
Yep.
And then with a tie game 2-2 like a minute later, like what is going on? This is a circus.
Scump with the opening. Karma with a second. Optic looking for more off the break of side 2.
They're looking for blood right now. Got to go through a Rated. He does that. Joe at least going to slow down the push with the nade, but it's Formal calling in the streaks. Krim 6 will get the touch, and he's off to the races. This should be another score.
And I believe the players there from Red had on Mountain, but where else are they going to be right there? That's just an easy drop from a glide bomb, you know?
It's true, and it's easier with that versus like a fighter pilot where maybe you connect, get some hit markers there. You can see them, you spot them out, you pick up the kill, and now as it's 3-1. They're trying to put in more damage, and there's just so many streaks on Optic. I don't know what you do if you're Red here. You just need so much offense that you force all the streaks out of them.
They have time. That's the big thing. They absolutely have time, but I think their bigger worry is that finally everyone on Optic is shown up, especially Formal, 15-7. Still with a mortar and a fighter pilot to his name. They need like a full 4 dead in like a matter of a second right here. Like Red just need to explode on in and get these kills instantly.
They want to slow it down with the glide bomb, and it does just that. One of the players in Beer will be picked up, so the only really remaining pressure here is going to be Josh, as a gunfight also won for Optic Gaming. Scump, as he roams mid-map, and Krim picks up a kill. It's now their turn to start the move forward.
Base is clear. And that means it's time for Scump to push on up. They're going to call in more streaks again. Optic, they're using these all offensively. Fortunately, this time around, because those first 2 kills go to Red Reserve, there should be no follow-up to this one, but Scump wins a gunfight in fire, and Formal sneaks by through lights. There's still an opportunity for a pull here.
Well, Josh does turn around wisely there, so he is able to get the kill, but Formal is still here. The way he's been players.
Again, Krim, the clutch one.
Yep.
To stop the push, spawns up and gets the 2 kills. Now it's Formal with the flag pull.
They didn't realize 2 actually got through. They got Scump, didn't know there was a second. Now he's got a chance to make a play. He wins his first one-on-one. He's getting it out to mid-map. He has help from Scump. Scump wins his gunfight. Scump wins both his gunfights. And Karma almost makes a kill there. Scump might get all 3. There it is. Scump went huge. Absolutely huge.
4-1. Fighter pilot as well from Krim to escort the flag. Optic will see a game 4 almost certainly at this point.
We talked about the fact there haven't been many reverse sweeps. Is this one brewing? Dear Red, you just got to forget about this one. I know there's still 2 minutes. It's not over yet, but...
Right there, like that sequence of kills you just saw from Formal and Scump and now rated 1 shot, that's like what Optic was missing in the hard point. They just weren't getting those, you know, swing fights to give themselves a trade advantage.
That's certainly true. I mean, it was all Josh and Joe, it felt like, right?
Yeah. Red just can't get a full 3 or 4 dead. There's Krim with the flamethrower. You mentioned it earlier. Now it comes into play.
Yeah, from this position, I mean...
Good luck.
From front, from steps, it's just such a small window. It's so easy to hold. They're not even going to get to him with the way Scump has just been dominating top mid.
Karma's just trying to distract and give Cryptix time to get to this power position. Whoa, okay. If Josh... Nope, I was going to say if Josh kills Karma here, he's got a chance. But Karma did such a good job of playing his life. Makes it so he can't go for a flag pull. 1 minute left, 3 cap lead. Still a couple streaks to use. I just don't see how it's possible.
Well, you might
even there. But look, the 2 players middle just die. The second is pulled out.
We'll have Josh to help him. That Nate'll back him up with their streaks. So this will pin him here for a second. I would have gone for Josh. Yeah, I was about to say, go kill Josh. So he doesn't have any help. There they go. Both will drop. Return is in.
Optic looks so much better here. And the big thing for me too, Maven, don't forget, Red scored that opening cap in the first 45 seconds. Optic didn't tilt. They focused back up, and they showed again why they're a championship caliber team.
Well, the first half, it was Optic playing good for about a minute.
Yeah, right.
The second half, it has been 5 minutes of Red Reserve just getting pounded.
It's incredible what happens when you get this type of performance from Formal, and it's been missing for a lot of week 2.
That's true. He's definitely starting to show up in the series. And Karma's been shooting very well. He's been a bit inconsistent at times as well. You know, you heard what they said in that video. What was the main thing that stuck out to you from, I believe it was from Formal. When we are playing our best, I don't care who else is playing their best.
Yep.
When we're on point, we are the best team.
It's just raining streaks at this point. GG's.
Videos and Call of Duty knowledge. Hot mic. Don't miss it.
MLG, you know where to pay us. You're welcome for that one. Let's get into game 4. Red Reserve. They're hoping to close it out here, but the crazy thing is, Maven, they've already beaten Optic in not only Hardpoint, but S&D once this series, and obviously Hardpoint and S&D the next 2 maps here. Their confidence will be at an all-time high even after losing that CTF.
And if I know anything about Red Reserve, for whatever reason, every time I cast a match on this particular map for them, it is a wild, wild finish. But Jack, you mentioned you want to hear the comms, you want to hear the energy. They need to bring it back if they're going to close out this series. Let's toss it to an Astro listening with Red Reserve.
Yeah, Joe, you can go.
Yeah, I can take all right.
Definitely right. No, who's got left?
Me. Shall I back up?
Yeah.
Definitely on the right, 100% on me.
Back him up. Come in.
He's already on that top spot, already top spot.
Yeah, one to tower as well.
Two got spots.
That's one there.
I'm holding deep back, I've got all the left. Just take your time, kill
You don't know how, I just did it. Get in the left corner, Troy.
Big kills.
Yeah, wait,
What's kill cam?
One shot, absolute. Can you kill him?
No. Dead. I got kill, One more push, dead. That's great. Oh no, let's go. Let's push, right. Where's he going?
Remember, roll middle. Come away.
Watch your tower.
I have
Come away, turret.
Come here,
I got bar right.
No, left corner, not weak. Left corner ladder. I spawned out. Left corner ladder, scum. That's him.
Push deep left, I can push deep left.
Yeah. Try to go back, help him.
Well done.
Nice big kill.
Deep left.
Turret.
I just want cave.
I'm going for turret. Can you have on help?
And Hill dead.
Retainer.
On the rock.
Turret.
Back left rock.
Toy's gonna kill me. Toy weak.
One to the back left rock.
Toy weak, dead.
Nice one, last guy push back left
I'm
rock.
on try, might come ladder then. Can you get time? No, watch out, dead. I'm good, I'm 450, I'm 450.
Rotate. It might be on me.
No.
Come through cave, sure.
Cave. Weak.
He's gonna back for you, I'm gonna
Push straight, I get time.
Yeah, Joe, help me out. It's okay, cave me, dead.
Nice. They're all gonna be
One
bridge.
of cheeks.
Bridge.
I'm on a cheeks, I'm playing kill wars, okay? Joe, what have you got to
I'm
talk
in
to
the
me?
back. I'm going to fall back, bro. Watch this fall back.
Gonna be bridge.
On bridge.
I'm engaged, I'm just kill
I
wars.
can use spiral trail.
Left foot, turn, help, I'm on shot.
Wicked Nelly.
I'm dead, Joe, I'm dead.
Turret. Pushing straight down.
Dead, man. Sorry.
There's one back.
No.
Have we got time?
They're gonna spawn on the mid stairs. They're gonna spawn mid stairs.
Yeah.
You know when you play a video at like 2 times speed? That's what Red Reserve's communication sound like. I need an Advil after listening to that.
Well, you heard Josh. I believe he's on a 4 or 5 streak. He said he was playing for those streaks. He needed a little bit of help from Joe, and I know he couldn't save him, but Joe was huge in them getting some kind of points here and really keeping Optic Gaming out of the hard point as much as they could. They're going to get 20 seconds here, but we're now going to rotate towards artillery. I believe push up in the top cave already is going to be formal. He's got 3 players kind of ready to deal with him, but Krim helping from mid-map.
An STG from him as well, but he doesn't check that bottom left corner, so Red will have this rotation. Joe has had some insane gunfight victories. You saw a 2-piece from him in top turret. His teammates commending him for that. And also, one thing to point out, Josh was one-off streaks earlier. He was focusing so much on it. Was talking about it. He was going to focus for that kill. Unfortunately, didn't work out for him. Krim beams Josh, but there's no 2-piece there for him. Optic still down by 40.
Karma, though, coming in on the flank. Sees Joe. Sees Josh. Doesn't finish him, but we'll get the assist, and that's brilliant. Turns immediately trusts his teammates. Know they're spawning near him. Now he's got full streaks for what seems like every single map for Karma. Tries to flick onto Joe, but not able to do it.
And again, Karma, just like in the CTF, making plays happen. Full streaks earned. Optic again, now finally being able to breathe. Look at this. It just seems like something changes on a moment's notice. One kill is all this team needs to just find some ground. Once they do it, they're just disgusting. It just comes down to getting the pace kind of where they want it, feeling comfortable. Scump on a 3 streak. Krim on a 3 streak. Optic from down 40, now back within 4, as they're in control of middle map as well, and the kills continue to go in their favor.
Lead change. Optic Gaming, Scump, very close to full streaks. He did get the fighter pilot, so that's still crucial there. But you've got a lot of stuff to work with here now if you're Optic Gaming. Formal getting back down, Formal getting dropped. But Scump has been huge in this one, man. 16 and 10 he is right now. Make it 17 and 10 as he tags up 2 with the fighter pilot.
I'm actually surprised to see that used right off the break. Look at these spawns coming in right now. You got players all over the place on the minimap. Karma pushing down this left lane, still with all the streaks in the world to use on that bottom right side of your screen. One more player close. I believe it is Josh just around the corner. Joe is there as well.
Just waiting on some help. And the cavalry has arrived. He's got 2 players to work with. Now he can call the streaks. Spotting everything. Wants to go for Raiden. Raiden will die. Now the push comes in, and Karma pops out of the streak and able to pick up the kill. You have Josh still holding in the back, but spawning out are multiple players. All 3 spawning out. Josh the lone man now, and he's hunted down and executed. There you go. Optic Gaming with a break.
Did everything he could. He really did everything he could. He got in the back building, but everyone on Optic spawning up right next to him. Thankfully for Red, they've already made it down this left street. Think of this. Even if Red... Oh, team kill from Karma, too, as he threw the nade over the building. Thankfully, Karma makes up for it with a kill, Formal with 2, and he's earning streaks now for himself. Maven again. You cannot feed streaks to Optic Gaming.
Yeah, it's like every time we hop to a player, somebody's working on streaks, it seems like. Still a very close game.
Oh, no.
And that's like, maybe he thought there was one player there and he could steal that scrap time in the final 15 seconds. It hurts that you end up letting Formal get the kill and get full streaks.
So what have we now seen so far? We've seen the fighter pilot from Scump. We know Karma still has, he's used 1 glide bomb, and now we've got full streaks from Formal. I mean, you're at a point right now where if Red want to win this map, they will have to outlast 7 streaks from Optic Gaming. At least 1 right there is for naught.
Zero did get a kill and dodge the streak. He actually gets 2 kills and dodges the streak. So Zero, with big plays, tries to get inside, but will get cut down. 3 now go the way of Optic Gaming if they're still spawning in the back. You're still spawning safe if you're Red, so you have not been able to break through yet. Zero's been huge here.
Doing everything he can. Joe with the pinch. Optic getting killed off near the hill again.
This is brilliant from Red.
Now it's a mortar strike.
This is brilliant from Red.
3 streaks, and Red are still in control.
Yeah. I mean, maybe now with Scump's 2-piece you start to get in. He gets actually 3, tries to go for the 4th, and gets the 4th in the window, but they're still spawning safe. It doesn't mean really anything.
Can we go back to Scump? Scump just earned streaks right there.
Okay, so it does mean something. I didn't realize, because he got the hard point too.
Scump just earned
Wow.
1 streaks in 1 fell swoop.
I didn't realize you got streaks off that. That's nuts.
And they rotate off of it. That literally, Scump might have just saved the game for Optic.
I was just thinking about the fact that he's going to drop and they still spawn safe and won't get time, but the fact he still gets streaks. But then again, the streaks haven't amounted in a whole lot for Optic thus far. That's something we saw from Era against Red Reserve, where they weren't very productive with their 42 streaks they used.
It's now at a point where if Red Reserve want to win this map, they have to outlast, I believe it's 9 or 10 streaks from Optic.
It's a couple. It's a couple.
As Scump just destroys Joe's life, proving he's a better redhead. Crim6 now in the hill. And okay, Rated just...
Scump has got his red hair removed.
Face. Yeah,
He's
right.
got scalped there as he comes in with the bayonet.
18 seconds to scrap here. Looks like Red will get it. Scump continuing to put on the pressure. 27 kills. No one is even close to him in the lobby.
He has these games where he can
Right.
completely take over. And it's just, this is such a big moment for Red because, you know, you feel really good about this week, right? You feel really, really good about it. If you end up falling on this in a reverse sweep, does it take away a lot of the momentum?
I was going to say, can we swap through again to see what Optic have to use? Fighter pilot just used there for Scumps. They still have a glide bomb, they still have a fighter pilot, and they still have a flamethrower. After all of this, everything that we've seen used, Red are still within 25 seconds of this game.
I'm not surprised from the series yesterday. They deal with streaks well. Still in it though. Scump still finding kills. He's now at 31 and 21. Crim now with a PPSH in hand. Picked one up and looking to make plays with it. Formal now. Set up in top bricks. Joe got in behind though. Joe got in behind. Oh no.
I don't think it'll do anything though. All the spawn, look at how sticky their spawns are towards topside.
Well, he'd have to make an insane play. Do they hunt him out here?
They need him.
It might not matter. You're right. But it very well could. Now where does Karma spawn? Karma spawns all the way out. So he spawns all the way out, and you get the close spawn there for Josh.
Do they know? They haven't killed Crim yet. Have they called that out? Oh my goodness.
Cat and mouse right now. First it was Joe, now it's Crim, and Joe makes the play. Not only does he get the spawns in the back, he also picks up Crim, but the streaks keep on raining in.
Why did Joe just run out of the building?
Huh. He wanted to catch the bullets.
I apparently wanted to give another kill to the Optic there. Pinch coming in. Scump can't clean up the kill. Red's still in control, but here comes the pinch from OG. It's all green in the kill feed. 1 player spawning close, 2 spawning close.
Look far left, too. Karma's already in the entire... He got all the way in the back. And there's no way Josh expects this. Josh has got a kill. He's like, oh, I caught the rotator. And he pops everybody with him.
Okay, well, this is it. This is it. Red will have... Really, they have to go for a break here. How do they do it?
One glide bomb, I think, yeah.
They're so far away as well.
Here we go.
Scump used the glide bomb right up the break. I feel like he might.
So he's holding on to it for now.
Red have a fighter pilot. Okay, so that'll force people out of position. It won't get any kills, but it'll give them information. First 2 kills for Red. Optic spawning out. They know one's in turret. They've got to expect the last guy in cave, right? They've got to expect the last guy in cave. Formal's there, Formal dead. Red get the break in one push. The last streak for Optic. It's a glide bomb for Scump. Can they get control back?
Rated wants nothing to do with it. Josh also rotating out of turret. He'll be able to line up one of the hardpoint as well. The pistol, though, going over the head of Scump as he's able to win that trade. 20-point advantage now for Optic Gaming. The flamethrower is out. There's a team kill, though, from Krim.
Krim's the last hope. That's a break. Red now will be within 15 seconds of Optic Gaming after every streak that we have seen.
That's 5 seconds.
Oh my God.
It's even closer. Here we go. What I tell you about Red, every single time on this map, it is some crazy close game down to the wire. Every single time.
This might be actually one of their toughest breaks yet. Thankfully, they have a glide bomb. There's one. Now they'll flood in after the smoke grenade, too. Rated holding this angle on Formal. Does Formal know he's here? With the way he's playing, it looks like it. Formal with the peek. Formal now dead. Rated still holding this middle map. He's expecting to get pinched. What?
He thought he was coming from the other side.
Right.
They both push through turret. This allows Krim to get in position, but he doesn't have an angle on Joe. He doesn't have an angle on Joe. He has to soar out and he gets picked. So Joe's still able to stay down. You're still getting time for Red.
Red can win off this hill. If Optic don't contest for even a fraction of a second, Red will win off this hard point. It will tick in their favor. Optic have one final push, Maven. Can they get it done?
And all those streaks they had, all those glorious streaks, now all gone. They can't play behind it. Nobody's getting in. They're going to try and both push from top steps. They have to soar out, and Josh is just holding it. 1 tick, 2 ticks. Victory for Red Reserve as they upset Optic, and the green wall no longer undefeated. Every time they play that map, man, I get older. Wow.
I can tell you something. Optic finished the first half of Division A 6-1. But with that one loss happening as their last match, they do not go away feeling good. It would be different if they lost their first series of the week and then turned it around, but Optic will end their stint in the first half of Division A with an abysmal showing in hardpoint 4 straight games.
Yeah, that's the craziest part of this for me. It's yes, you lose a series, but the 4 straight in hardpoint, and that's a mode that you start to feel really strong in, right? You feel like you're getting in your groove, you need to focus on other stuff, and then it seems to kind of fall apart at the end. And, but on the other side of that, props to Red again, and I have to go back and watch this because sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's tough to tell if it's like a poor streak use or really good time, really good at dealing with it from Red. But for me, that's back-to-back series I've watched from Red where the other team can have all the streaks they want. It doesn't seem to matter in the end, which is just, it's impressive to me. It's awesome.
And a CoD, LUL.
That's right, 0-3 today.
0-3 today. Raiden was yelling throughout the series. I'm wondering how this interview will go. Jess, good luck.
Yep, we are here with Rated coming off of that amazing win, taking down the green wall for the first time. I know I was just chatting with you about this, but how does it feel to hand Optic their first loss?
I mean, yeah, it's good, but I feel like our team's the best team in the game right now. Like, we have 2 losses, but both of them losses, we threw away Gibraltar, which was map 4 to win the series, so I think if we just keep playing that game, no one will beat us.
Now, maps 1 and 2 were so very close. What was it that was able to tip the scales in your team's favor?
I just think we understand the game a lot better than the majority of teams. I think TK are the only team who understand the game just as much as us. I think that pulls us through.
Finally, map 3, you guys typically dominate on London docks, and you've been winning almost every single CTF lately. So what went wrong that Optic was able to beat you so badly during that map?
We just give them so many streaks. We were 1-0 up, and then literally in the last minute of the first half, we give them 2 sets of full streaks, and then you're constantly on the back foot because when even you pull, they have something to counter you with streaks, so it was a bit hard on the back foot.
Well, thanks for the interview. Congratulations again on the amazing win. Back to Rich at the desk.
Rated has said so many times that they are the best team in the game, and now they're starting to back it up more and more. When we entered this series, Optic Gaming was undefeated at the Pro League. Now Red Reserve going to hand them the first win, and it starts off in fitting fashion. We go to the same map that they were actually able to serve up Optic a pretty big loss at NOLA, Chance.
Yeah, and I think it really comes down to Red Reserve's preparation. It was that second hard point over in the back lot. Optic does basically the same setup every time they have the spawns, where they have 2 guys kind of roaming around ammo side. 1 guy hangs around, he's a bit of a roamer, either focusing on wine or over to help with the hill, but then normally it's 1 guy in the hill by himself. And Red Reserve, instead of playing for spawns, I know the casters pointed out a couple times, but they just send everybody through the single lane, and then it was just overwhelming pressure to where even if Optic Gaming is trading out kills, Red Reserve can just keep funneling through and at the very least contest, if not break through.
You know who else does that, Chance? TK. TK is the only other team that we've seen really do that strategy. If you're Optic, what you have to do, you have to get on that dirt road right there where Joe is coming through. Try to push up towards that field. If you're able to do that, then you have Red spawning way out. Unfortunately, they won all the key gunfights. They didn't care about the spawns. They pushed through the front, and they just were nading and weakening the Optic Gaming players in the hill. They did such a great job on that, but again, I mean, Optic lose another St. Marie hardpoint, and things just aren't going their way lately.
I think that it is fitting, too, that Rated did kind of compare his team to TK there. You're starting to see that very scrappy gameplay come out, especially in the hardpoint. This one was relatively bloody through and through, and you can see Red Reserve getting a pretty resounding win on our first map, and now taking a look at how each hill went down.
I mean, again, you could see Optic, they did very well, but Winery was the difference maker for Red Reserve, as we were just talking about. But Josh, this is a player we haven't talked much on. Usually we talk about Rated, we talk about Zero when it comes to Red Reserve. Josh, 35 kills, 2 minutes in the hill. A beastly performance from him.
And it's not just like the gun skill and the in-map performance, but it's the comms as well. I know he's a motor mouth, but at the very least, like, he brings that intensity, right? Like, if you have him drawn away in your ear from map 1, from the outset, it's impossible to not show up, right? Like, if you got a guy like that getting everybody amped up, you're going to perform well, or at least towards the top of what you're capable of.
I have absolutely no idea what he said inside of those comms. I actually was watching with Phil. I turned to him and I asked him if it was normal. He said, oh yeah, I understand everything. I don't believe him. I don't normally believe anything Momo says, but let's take a look at map number 2. And one thing before we talk about this map in particular, this wasn't just this series that Josh really came alive. It's been all of the Pro League for me. Josh definitely being a big player to watch. But Merc, what caught your eye in the S&D?
I think actually B-bomb retakes for both teams, typically not very successful. How many times have we seen Red Reserve, you know, be able to hold off a 2v4 or 3v4, but for both teams, Optic as well. They would plant the bomb. B, typically a player would go down, and then you would have a great setup, but both teams were able to clutch up. You saw Rated versus Scum. That was really the big battle. They had double-digit kills when they finished the game, but Red Reserve, man, they just look so good on London Dock Search and Destroy.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta give credit, all the credit in the world to Rated, right? Like, he was untouchable for the first handful of rounds, and just the number of streaks even that got earned for the Search and Destroy is pretty impressive. And Red Reserve, you know, didn't even get all too much with it. I think they probably had one round that you can credit towards the streaks, but I don't know, it was a pretty good back and forth game. A lot of interesting moments. Karma only almost pulling off a 1v4, which that would have honestly been just like a dagger towards Red Reserve, but obviously they played incredible well. Even this final round 11, like the setup they had, it was almost perfect.
Red Reserve going to come out on top. Optic Gaming, though, bringing it very far. They're able to pick up 5-round wins of their very own. Seth playing incredibly well. Most kills for Optic. The real time, though, that Optic Gaming does show up is going to be in our next map inside of the CTF, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, Capture the Flag, London Docks, again, we talked about it at New Orleans. This was a game where Red Reserve ran over Optic, right? So, and you even heard Krim in the interview. He said, you don't want to play Red Reserve on London Docks. They just understand it more than other teams. I imagine he was talking about Hardpoint because they played Search and Capture the Flag in this series against Red Reserve. But I mean, CTF, guys like Formo really woke up. I mean, he set the pace, got a lot of streaks, and they were able to just get some relays in.
What do you think of that, though, Chance? We heard Krim straight up say that. Show the respect to Red Reserve on London Docks. Did you expect to hear him say something like that?
Well, he's right. You have to, right? There, at least on the hardpoint, I think they have like a 12-0 record or just something completely absurd. So at least on hardpoint London Docks, that should be just like almost a permanent ban for Red Reserve, at least for like the next event or two. Either way, though, I think Rated kind of hit the nail on the head in the interview. It was a close game at the start, but then Formal, he picks up that huge 3-piece in the back, and that was actually his second time getting behind enemy lines in that exact same situation. So obviously there was a hole in Red Reserve setup, but picks up a huge 3-piece, gets some streaks, and then more importantly, even after that, it was what, Crim 6 immediately sets up for the rally cap, and it's a situation we kind of give credit to Red Reserve for their game planning ahead of time, but in game, Crim6 is definitely one of the smartest players we have.
Crim6 has showed that time and time again, but it was Formal who had the best KD for Optic this time around, grabbing 23 kills. We enter that fourth map. Red Reserve bloodied up a little bit after that CTF, but they look very strong to close this one out.
Yeah, it was a little bit scary. I mean, you never want to let Optic sort of back in the series. We talked about it for years. I mean, last year especially, if you would go up 2-0 on Optic, you have to close them out on game 3. But they did get it to a game 4 in Red Reserve. I was a little bit worried for them. I mean, they gave up a ton of streaks, and you're going to be able to see that in the highlights. But all 4 of them not afraid to play with Mountain. I think that's so important. They're the one team that really uses that division to perfection, all of them playing with such a team game.
Yeah, and heading into Gibraltar, Chance, what caught your eye?
It was just the number of streaks Optic got and the fact that, like, the game just didn't go their way. It seems like there's so many little details that in hardpoints, Optic just gets wrong. Like, I know obviously they posted a fantastic hardpoint record the first week, but there was games against TK where, like, literally they're breaking records and the games are still close. So, obviously, Optic, they're going to be happy with their performance overall, 6-1. Like, if you had told them they were going to do that well coming into this, I think they would have been ecstatic. And I think it's important for the fans as well, or not the fans, excuse me, for Optic to see that there are holes in their hardpoint game. Like, I think the losses are important just so they know they have things to go back and fix. But I don't know. For me, maybe I'm wrong about this, but even small things, like, they seem like they give up like 4 or 5 seconds just when they have control of the hill. Just a bit unwillingness to either dive inside or maybe too much favoritism towards pushing out hills. But again, I think it's just the devil's in the detail with Optic. Obviously, they are the best team at getting streaks, but still, the hill control isn't quite there.
Yeah, and at the end, we saw a perfect sort of turret set up for Red Reserve. Crim knows he has to get Joe off of that hill, just not able to do it. It was just so back and forth. Both these teams were able to break Courtyard and Castle pretty much at will. Like, they were in the spawns. They had the spawns they wanted, but they would fight from the front. They would use their streaks. One guy would be sneaking in the back, would open up the team setups, and I don't know, man. It's typically, you don't see Courtyard and Castle that even, but it definitely was in that game.
Before we even saw this series, we said, did Optic get their wake-up call with Mind Freak? Now they have a much louder wake-up call coming from Red Reserve. Do you think this is actually something that bodes well for them?
Yeah.
As they actually do head into, they're going to be able to snag that top 4 spot.
I mean, listen, right? Like, they were 9-0 in Hardpoint before yesterday. Then they play Mind Freak. They lose both of them, but they still win the series. They may say, you know, we just had a slow series. We weren't slaying well. But now today defines the answer that, yes, they still have some issues to fix in Hardpoint. They thought it was search and destroy. While they did lose that one, game number 2, again, you can't lose maps 1 and 4 with this Optic roster.
No one is left undefeated, but there is